What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. The House Democrats pass a bill. And did you notice the cat in the background? That's my cat, Lily. Say hi. I've actually had a lot of comments from you guys saying we need to see the cats again. And she has a brother that's 14 years old who actually hides a little bit more. So enjoy. But the House Democrats pass a bill. We're going to give you all the details on that and a lot of information about the actual checks. I'm going to give you all the information in this video. But first, if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check updates. As the information comes out, we bring it to you. My wife and I do all the research for you every single day, and we bring it to you in a quick, concise video. And don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for us and for Lily in the background. I wonder how long she's going to stay there. I guess we'll find out. Okay, first up, the U.S. House of Representatives, controlled by the Democrats, pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown and have sent it over to the Senate. And there's a couple different things in this bill. I'm going to give you guys all the details of this right now. The House passed legislation on Tuesday night to avert a government shutdown through December 11th. This is a continuing resolution that will basically push this budget to the end of the year, sending the bill to the Senate with just 8 days left before current federal funding expires. Lawmakers passed the bill in a bipartisan vote of 359 yeses to 57 noes. They passed this after Democrats earlier Tuesday rekindled negotiations with Republicans that had temporarily stalled. The government will shut down on October 1st if they cannot get this bill passed in the Senate. Oh, by the way, there's my other cat, Leo. Both of the cats are Himalayans, and there he goes. He's gone. Maybe they'll come back. We'll see. Nancy Pelosi said this bill will include $8 billion for nutrition assistance for school children and families, and it renews the Pandemic EBT, a program that provides food benefits while schools are closed and set to expire at the end of September for a full year. It also adds increased accountability for farm aid money to prevent it from going to large oil companies, according to Nancy Pelosi. Senate Majority Mitch McConnell had criticized a lack of farm assistance fund in a bill the Democrats released Monday, and apparently they added it in as they got the vote to pass it in the House. This bill will only fund the government through December 11th, avoiding a potentially chaotic shutdown before the election on November 3rd. Lawmakers will then have to hash out an agreement to fund the government all the way to September 30th of 2021, which is the end of the next fiscal year. Lawmakers have said they want to get past the shutdown threat to focus on passing more stimulus relief, which they have failed to do for months, amid disagreements over the size of a fifth stimulus package or fifth aid package. So what does this mean? This means the House of Representatives passed a bill, which is a continuing resolution, which will just extend the federal government budget to prevent a government shutdown before the election. This will extend it almost to the end of the year if they can pass it in the Senate. As you can see, Nancy Pelosi threw in money for farming, for farms, and stimulus money for farms, and also money for school children and nutrition assistance for families. So they are passing several different things with this bill also. Now we have to see if when it goes to the Senate, which may happen today or tomorrow, if they can pass it in the Senate. This would be good because A, we don't want the government to shut down. This brings me back to a movie. I'm trying to think of what movie that is. I think it's Home Alone, where they go, and A, and then 2, and then D. So, yeah, my wife's still laughing in the background. So A, it would prevent a government shutdown. Number two, it would give money to school children and families and nutrition assistance. And D, it would give money to farmers also. And mainly, we just want to prevent the government shutdown so that we can have the elections and we can, pass more stimulus and all that other good stuff. I'm going to get to some other good news here in just a second. So, this is good news. At least we're starting to see the Republicans and the Democrats actually agree on something and actually pass a bill with bipartisan support in the House. We'll now have to see if the Senate can pass it to prevent a government shutdown and from hundreds of thousands of government employees from temporarily losing their job and not seeing the government shutdown. And there's some other money in there for farms and for school children. My wife is just cracking up in the other room if you can hear her. These cats are just having too much fun right now. All right, so let's get to some good news about stimulus checks also. House Democrats push to renew efforts for a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks. The stimulus stalemate has left lawmakers at odds over how to get more relief to millions of Americans who need it. Earlier this month, Senate Republicans attempted to get a smaller bill through Congress as the standoff between both parties continued. House Democrats pushed back on the stimulus check exclusion on Tuesday during a congressional hearing with Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. The economic impact payments must be made because the rent must be paid, Representative Al Green, a Democrat from Texas, said. If we do not do this, we will put persons at risk of being evicted at a time when we are having a pandemic that is still taking lives in this country. Yes or no, do you believe another stimulus check could help stabilize the economy? Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says, I do. The administration does support another stimulus payment. He says, we obviously can't pass a bill in the Senate without bipartisan support. Our job is to continue to work with Congress to try to get additional help to the American public. Democrats say, I think you need to be very clear with the senators that direct payments to individuals is a critical part to preventing the economic collapse in our country. So, if we listen to what is being said here, Democrats are saying that they want another stimulus check, and why hasn't it happened? And they're asking Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who is the main Republican negotiator and pretty much at this point the main speaker for the Republicans besides President Donald Trump. And he's saying that Republicans and the White House also want stimulus checks. So we have an agreement that both sides want a stimulus check. So it's not like they have been forgotten. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell are testifying for 3 days and have been getting grilled on more stimulus for the economy. And you just heard it yourself. The Republicans want more stimulus, and the Democrats are telling them that we need more stimulus checks. So I think we're going to see more stimulus checks the closer we get to the election. I think that Congress is either going to have to pass these stimulus checks within the next week or so before they go on election at the end. Election. Before they go. Boy, I'm just cracking myself up today. Before they go on recess and they go back to their states for the election, because everybody in the House of Representatives is back up for re-election this November. Of course, with the president also, and 1/3 of the Senate is also up for re-election, including Mitch McConnell. So if they go back to their states on recess and don't have a stimulus check passed, I think the president will definitely step in and pass it through a presidential executive order with that money he said has already been earmarked and passed by Congress for stimulus, and it's just sitting there in a fund, $300 billion, which is just enough money for a stimulus checks. But I honestly think that we might see an agreement because you just heard the Democrats saying that we need stimulus checks, and the Republicans are saying, you're right, we do need them and we want them. So they're both in agreement that we want stimulus checks and that we need stimulus checks. So all that's left is to pass it, but we have to hope that Nancy Pelosi doesn't get in the way and somehow prevent it. But if she does, let me know if you think the president will just step in and pass it himself and basically steal all the credit away from the Democrats. We'll see. Also, the presidential debate, which is now in just a few days on September 29th in Cleveland, Ohio, which is pretty much, I'm not exactly from Cleveland, but I'm a stone's throw from it. OH. President Donald Trump and Joe Biden will be questioned on topics including this pandemic and the Supreme Court when they face off in the first of 3 debates before the 2020 election. The Commission on Presidential Debates announced Tuesday that the September 29th debate in Cleveland, Ohio will center around 6 topics, each of which will receive a 15-minute time slot. The moderator, Fox News' Chris Wallace, selected the categories, the commission says. The first debate will be held in Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic. It is scheduled to start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and is expected to run about 90 minutes. The 6 topics are the Trump and Biden records. Number 2 is the Supreme Court. D is the coronavirus pandemic. F is the economy. Number 7 is the race and violence in our cities. And last but not finally, number 9 is the integrity of the election. Boy, what a funny broadcast we had today. But you know what? It's good to smile. It's good to be happy. It's just uplifting. If you ever wake up with a frown, try smiling a little bit and you'll just see that like your negativity goes away. And trust me, it's much better to smile throughout the day. It's actually healthy for you. So when these presidential debates come out, I will be covering some of the highlights for you guys. It's going to be a hot mess. So we will have some commentary over them. I'm sure it's going to be a hoot, so we will see. And as always, make sure you've hit the like button for us and make sure you've subscribed down below. I will keep you guys updated as more information comes out as soon as it comes out. And you can click on these videos to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income by selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.